Roll call. Steve M.
Here.
Rob Johnson.
Here.
Raymond Sales. Here. And then we have Sharp and Shane with us as well. Call to approve meeting minutes 1/8/2026. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 5 is going to be pushed until next meeting. Item number 6 is also going to be pushed for future business till next meeting. Any board comments? You will let Shane know, please. We do not let the board know. Please let the chain of command know, not to cut you off, but that goes through the fire department with them.
Okay.
You got anything, Rob?
Nothing.
Was it March 5th? Next meeting will be March 5th, which is Thursday at 6:30 PM.
I'd like to go back to number 7, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
And the time this kid was let go, his name was Zach. Zach Red.
Okay, so number one, when it's a public meeting, we can't be using names.
Okay.
If we want to talk about personnel and talk about names, we have to call a special meeting and request a special meeting, which I'm more than happy to, and explain it to you guys. Things like that, and then there's a form that we have to fill out, saying that we're calling a special meeting, and we have to check the box as far as personal issues.
Do you know why he was not considered for employment anymore?
Yes, and we can talk about it in our special meeting when it's not public. I'm not going to go public and start bashing an individual.
Okay. Well, it's probably going to arise in a public hearing, that's all I can tell you. It might not be this one, but it's going to come up.
Okay.
And there's going to be things that come up with you too. Okay?
All right, we're not here,
The way
we're
the
not
this
here
department's
to,
being run right now.
we're not
The way
here to
this
make
department's
threats.
being run right now, all right? There's no confidence.
there's
in
no-
either
there's
one
not
of
be
you
any
two, the way
argument.
this department's being run right now.
You don't show up for 3 meetings and you come in here now and then, like you know the world. And then everything that happened with that kid was discussed.
And what do you know?
What I
What do
guess
you
I
know?
guess I
What
don't
do you
know.
got, a 5-minute meeting?
Yeah, my
Is that
5
our
meeting, that's what happened.
Yeah?
That's, yeah.
Scratch this, scratch that?
Scratch
And then you
that.
put
Show
your own
up
people
and then
on.
you would know about everything that goes on in the meetings. Everything has been pushed forward.
Okay.
They come in here, they speak up.
Yeah, I
Anything
will
that's
be there.
behind,
I will
that's
be at
great.
the rest of the meeting.
Please, I encourage it. You should be. Rather than being absent for over 50% of the meetings.
What do we have, 4?
4, where you been? We started back in September. That would be 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 6. Wow, yeah, yeah. So,
Mathematician.
yeah, right. Well, you asked a question. I'm just helping you add it up.
Okay, all right,
So,
so go forward.
you have any other comments you want to make?
Well, you know, when things, well, we're not gonna discuss this here anyway, so it's no point in bringing it up any further. You know, I don't know what your stance is as far as with the fire department and with the town, if you're a liaison, if you're supposed to bring the two sides together, or do you just take orders from them? You know, do you ever consider the firemen that are
Yes.
here? They're concerned, that's why they're
Yes.
here today.
When we have meetings with them, we talk to them.
And when's the last time you took their side and went over there and fought for them?
I've been fighting for them since I've started.
Oh.
If you stop by the fire department, you'll see everything we've gotten. The town has invested over $4.2 million in the fire department.
Okay. No. I beg to differ. I hear from personnel in the department,
Okay.
so.
I can show you all
Not
the
everybody either one is.
receipts.
And there's other issues too that will come up later. So, okay. That's it. That's all I got to say.
Public comments? Yeah, you're good to go.
Keith Field, for 19 full-time St. John. I guess to address what Mr. Marciano was getting at, there was a revocation of a conditional offer that was given to that individual. Charlie, I won't use names, I'm not trying to.
You're good.
The reasoning for the revocation of the conditional offer did not appear to be objective when we talked to that candidate. It seemed to be personal in nature, and two, contingencies in his contract that he signed for conditional offer were met, both of which were physical, he passed, and acceptance of the perk, which he passed. The town paid for it, he went through the testing, was accepted, was given a start date and a shift assignment, and then that was revoked. And the reasoning given, well, I don't know if I want to say that, but it appeared to be personal in nature that someone felt disrespected. So a conditional offer was revoked, and then the mayor board was not involved in the revocation. When that authority falls to the mayor board, being hiring, firing, disciplinary, and promotional. So our concern is, a body is, the mayor board is being bypassed when you guys have the statutory authority to make those decisions. That's what our concern is.
So I've seen just one letter that TJ sent to Shane that was pushed up. Can you have, and I encourage all you guys to do, it's just not TJ, I know you guys lean on him because he's the president, right? But break it down into detail, dates, times, you know.
Is that something I'd be able to email you to?
Yeah, I can give you my email. I would encourage you though to push it to him, and then when he sends it out, he can CC you and me, so you know I do have it. Just so we use a chain of command, that's the only thing. I got no problem you guys emailing, but push it in, because if he doesn't give it to me, then we have an issue, right?
No, completely.
So,
So we had contacted him through the keyboard, through an official email outlining the contingencies within that contract, asking for clarification and explanation, which we have not heard back on. The only email response, all it entailed was message received, there was no explanation as to why the mayor vote was bypassed.
all right,
And you guys have the ability to make those decisions.
can you forward me that email, please?
Yes.
And then put together that other email,
Yes, sir.
which I would say you should have Sunday, Monday. It shouldn't take that long to put that together, right?
And just to be clear for that second email, what exactly did you need on there?
Leading up to the events, what do you think the reason is, right? Why do you think,
I don't mean to speculate either. I don't want to,
well, you just,
I think.
I'm not trying to call you up, but you just came over and said, you know, this is why we think, you didn't want to say, it's just,
Well, because it's a public meeting, I guess that's my hang up. I don't want to, like, if we're not allowed to use names, I'm not sure how much.
you're fine to be, you know, freely as you want, they just don't want names dropped, is all.
Oh, so it's just literally names?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the individual went to a town council meeting and had an outburst where he was giving permission to the town lawyer and to the current public speaker to use his name, because this issue had come up in that. He was giving permission, and then it was actually me who had also yelled in the meeting, which I got no disciplinary action because we were there civilians expressing freedom of speech. The second one.
Let me just, so, Steve, I'm gonna lean on you on this one a little bit. So, when you're a fire alarm, police, military, right? You guys went through the training, you're a firefighter.
Yes, sir.
You're a police officer, firefighter, right? You never really take that uniform off, in my eyes. So regardless if it's in a civilian aspect or, you know, you do have freedom of speech, 1,000%, I'm all for that, right? But you're still a firefighter, to
Yeah.
clarify. You agree with that?
In objective reasons to revoke a conditional offer. The two contingency clause in the contract didn't say anything about attendance at a meeting or public speaking. There's nothing outlined in there. There's no contingencies outlining at chief discretion, nothing. There were two contingencies and he met them.
All right. So send that email, and then I will get a reason as to why who's in subordination. There's a whole list, right? We all follow Indiana fire merit law, right? You cannot, there's no, yeah, there's no jogging right, there's no jogging left, it's down the middle, right? Whatever is in there, that's what we have to abide by. We can't be like, hey, I don't like this guy or this guy, we want them off, right? There's,
Emotions out of it.
yeah, you have to put the emotions aside regardless of the situation at all costs. And when you involve emotions, it's not good.
Agreed.
So, yeah, if you don't mind sending that out, in detail, like a little report, I'm all for it.
I can certainly do that. Thank you for your time, I appreciate it.
Anytime.
Is there any other questions? That's all our concerns.
Steve, you have anything?
I'm good.
Anything?
No, just email.
You're good to go. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you, thank you.
Anyone else? I'm all day. If you want to go half an hour, I'm all ears, bud.
Thank you.
Hi, Frank Kozik. I'm the acting officer for V-Temp right now. So, a couple questions in regards to the acting officer position. As of today, I've held the position for over 480 days. In this time, I've been tasked with full list of responsibilities and duties expected from a commissioned line lieutenant. I've also been held to the subject of extra holdovers, having trainings canceled, denied, due to being an officer staffing levels. Although we did hold a promotional test late in 2025, a letter is drafted by all testing participants outlining multiple discrepancies noted during the process and requesting a revised corrected process be offered. To date, I have not been made aware of any progress being made to rectify this situation. It's my concern that my current position is being used excessively in lieu of an official promotion taking place, which I personally don't believe is fair to the department or myself. I am obliged by the trust that the administration has placed in me to fill that role. I'm also becoming frustrated with the lack of movement. One of my main issues with the position involves time and grade, which by all accounts doesn't really appear to hold weight or accrue towards any further promotions that I've heard about. This being the case, it's increasingly difficult to justify taking on the added responsibilities and restrictions, namely the increased chance of incurring a holdover and an increased availability of training of holding this rank that I'm in now. I was aware that you guys were having a meeting today. I just appreciate any details regarding what we're doing with that. You guys had gotten that letter that we sent. And how that was moving forward.
You're talking about the layer where you guys all stepped down,
Correct.
and you want to know where we're at in that process?
Like, have we fixed the process? What are we doing?
So what I got from the letter was when I was a part of the second interview portion, not the first portion. I did talk to Kyle that was there for the first one, and to my understanding, a call was, called into the fire department, right? And I don't know if it was you or TJ, but one person was asked, I believe it was TJ, but one person was asked, hey, are we good to proceed? Because you're supposed to have a lieutenant, chief, right? You're supposed to have the whole lineup. And that was approved, saying, hey, we're good to proceed with that process. So that kind of crossed that one out the list. I know when we did my portion of it, everyone was there. There was no call-outs at all on that portion to answer, that breakout. For stepping down, I'm not going to talk about the list unless you guys want to talk about the list in the order of sequence. But obviously you have two options. You either start at number 1, then you go down to 2, and then you go down to 3, or the chief could hand select someone, correct?
Sure. I was just kind of asking where we're at in the process right now because I've been in this position for over a year.
Are you-
Do you mean like reopening the promotional process then?
I mean,
So it's not, we can't, so it's not closed, to be clear, it's not closed. It can't be closed for 6 months?
Yeah.
Yes, roughly 6 months. So at that point, if it's closed, it would be reopened, is the whole thing. But in the meantime, I assume, we have nothing to do with pay, to be clear. None of us have anything to do with pay. I would assume you're being compensated for that?
yeah, I'm being paid as a lieutenant.
Yeah. So let me get with Shane on that, because that did get put on the back burner, and I would throw that more on my shoulders than on theirs. Because when that letter do go out, I'm like, all right, like, let's see where we go from here. You know what I mean? Because I did read the letter. I went through all the talking points, and then I took our bylaws and the state, laws, and I went through everything on there. To me personally, I didn't see anything really wrong with the process, unless I'm missing something here. The only thing that I went back to Shane on was asking about the posting. Was there enough time for the tests, how you guys have to take your tests and the whole posting part of it? To my understanding, everyone knew when the tests were going to be given. It wasn't like, hey, tomorrow you're going to take the test, right? You guys have to have ample time to study for your test, correct? Was that not the case, or was it?
I mean, I think in the letter, we outlined pretty well what our issues were with.
No, I know, but that was,
I mean, I don't have it all in front of me.
no, I know, but that was one of the issues, was, well, that was another issue, was the whole test. Like, oh, we didn't have enough time. We would like in the future to have, 45 days or up to this amount of time per, the statute in XYZ, right? That was one of the things in the letter. The other thing was, when we did the interview, when the call came out, one of the lieutenants, I believe, had to leave. We asked, not myself, but Shane Sharp, asked, are we good to proceed with it? And he was given okay, at that point in time. So that crosses those two out. The rest, I don't remember the rest of them. I can go through those points, but those are the two that really stood out to me on that. At any point in time, though, you guys could have been like, hey, we don't want to do this process, like, let's dip out. But everyone took the written exam, studied for, I would assume, 30-plus days, correct? You guys all did interviews, and I can't speak for the, the ones in the morning, but the ones I had, the second part, they did excellent on. I was impressed with them, to be honest with you, on it. But why, my question is, why proceed with all that time and money and wasting people's time if you guys were going to step back on that list?
Well, I think it was a question of procedure, just to make sure that everything was being done right, and I don't think it was. Like I said, I don't have a list of things in front of me, but that's the reason that people took their name off the list, was due to procedure.
So you guys didn't have any secret meetings and come to the God moment at all, saying, hey, we're not going to take it, we're not going to take it, we're not going to take it, we want him to take it?
Oh, no, that absolutely happened.
Yeah.
He's been doing the job, so I think what he's getting at is the way the scoring was.
Here, yeah. You can stay up there.
I think it was the way it was graded, so like, it was me, well, I think I was on me and Lindsay too, so our certifications garnered us a lot of points. I take a lot of classes because I don't have a whole lot of experience behind me, so it's my way to address that. I can't like go like a small person, I start like fire.
Right.
So I try to take classes to educate myself to become a better firefighter, do hands-on training. So with that, it garners a lot of certifications, which looks really good on paper. But in comparison, Frank's been doing it for like 15 years, so he's seen way more fires than me. So I think where we had the hang up was I didn't feel like I should have been the next lieutenant. He's been doing the job, and it's literally felt the same, where we were not doing the job. He took that on his shoulders. He came over to be the lieutenant before we so didn't know what was going to happen. So we didn't feel it was the right thing to do, like morally, to take that position. He's been doing it. And truthfully, I believe him to be a better lieutenant. And so it wasn't so much like a grandstanding, it was we were doing what we believed to be right. I thought he earned the position, I did not want to accept it. So when we go back to the procedure of it, I think the scoring may have been a little inappropriate, because when you're comparing me to playing side by side, on paper, I look better. But
Yeah, but it's not to cut you off, but like, you have a written portion of it, right? And then you have an interview portion and all that stuff, right? So like, if you, and I think, I don't know if you guys did it, I know you guys are more than welcome to go to them saying, hey, can you give me a breakdown of my score? Am I right to say that, right?
Right.
So I'd ask for my exam scoring, which I was never given.
But you also said to come up and we would show you all of
So
your
he's
scores.
not, yeah, just to clarify.
So by state law,
Which you didn't do. I did ask for the scores, and I was not given them.
so by state law, all we have to do is give you guys your written score. We don't have to show you all the other scores. And
I was asking for my testing score.
so,
What score do you want? Your written score?
Just the written score.
Yeah.
If it's an issue, I'm not trying to.
No, this is why I'm letting you guys know, because I don't know what you guys know or don't know, right? So if all of you, want your test scores, you guys can't go in the room all at once, right?
Well, I don't need to create more work.
No.
Like, if that process is like a moot point right now,
No.
I'm not worried about
I encourage, I think anyone that takes the test should actually be like, hey, you know, what did I get in my test? Can you explain this to me? I think when you guys, how you're approaching me here is good, right? I don't know how you guys approach these guys. My point is, be more cordial, per se, like, I'm open to this. I love open dialogue and talking,
I appreciate the way you're letting us.
right? But I'm all for it. I said that from day one, right? It's just how you present it compared to how you just, you know what I mean there? No, but I would encourage looking at the test scores, because you could have had a better one than him written-wise, but his, you know, open dialogue when we're going through all the pictures, right? He could have been better on, right? So then, and that's, well, no, I don't know, you know what I mean? I didn't sit there and look at the scores, I didn't, but I encourage that, because next time you guys go around, it would help you guys.
Yeah,
So I would,
That was even the cool thing about the process, because like both of them had actually asked me to test. I wasn't interested in being a lieutenant, but I knew eventually, like, I'm looking around, like, who I'm working with, and eventually I'm going to have to step into that role. So I did, I studied, I went through the process because I felt I was requested to, and it felt like the right thing to do, and a very good learning opportunity, so I'm grateful for that. I do appreciate your guys' time on that. It's not like we didn't need to waste anything. I just think the way it was scored, giving so much weight to me based off my certification, when like maybe I shouldn't get so much percent for it, I guess.
but that's how, you know, the state does it. That's the majority of places. You get X amount of points for your degree, military. There's a lot of variables for it. You know what I mean? And some things he may not be able to do, and you can, and vice versa, right? You know what I mean? But always, you know, if they have classes, they're open to anyone, right? And those add to it. The only thing that you really can't catch up on is, you know, he's 15 years and you may be 10 years, right? So there's no way to catch up for yeah, exactly on it. But I would encourage everyone, regardless of age, you know, if the position's there, regardless if you think you're not good enough or you're good enough, like, go for it. You don't know what to expect. You know what I mean? So, and, you know, I'm not saying, you know, if she got it, she's better than you, or vice versa, right? I understand it's a test score, and to be honest, I score poorly on tests. You know, that's just, I'm horrible at them. You know, I'll be honest with you, but you put me in the field, I'm gonna take care of business. You know, so everyone's different. But I would encourage, you know, shoot them an email, pick a day, you know, individually, and ask for that test score and go over it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll take
Yep.
it on.
Yeah, and honestly, the only reason I brought this up today was because I just wanted to kind of get an update on where we were at with the process. Because I hadn't heard anything about it. You wrote that letter and then we never heard anything back. So it was just kind of.
Could I get you an answer by our next meeting? So 3/5, I might have it sooner than that, but, all right.
That's fine. Just kind of putting it in now. But that's all I got for you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
I got a question for Chief.
Yes.
Schrader. So, on the list, if there's an actual list that's developed and it's a lieutenant's list, and, you know, somebody's in front of one or the other, if they decline it, would you go to the second person then?
Yes.
Okay, so, that's another way around it.
Yeah, but so let's just be clear on that, right? Because that's why I brought it up there, and you made a valid point, you know, like, hey, we're going to deny it so he gets it, right? Is that what you said?
I didn't feel comfortable taking on that advice.
Well, yeah, correct, but everyone would deny it, so he would get it, because he's been acting lieutenant, right? So, you know, it does come down to, you deny it, she denies it, now it's up to him, right? You know, the way around it, because we're looking for loopholes here, right? Well, I didn't say it, I didn't say it, right? So I'm gonna play devil's advocate, so I can go back on the Chiefs, like, hey, I don't feel comfortable with him having it. I'm not saying he said that, I'm speaking for myself, right? So that's the worker way around that. If you guys, I'm not saying you're playing games, but if someone wants to start playing games, hey, now we're gonna close that spot, right? So it's more so like, have an open, very truthful dialogue with the chief rather than trying to be down everyone's throat. You know what I mean? That's all I'm getting at. Rather than, hey, let me look at a loophole to, how can I screw the chief over, and you get what I'm saying? Yeah, go ahead, I'll jump up here.
In my interview, like, I started with that, saying like, if I do this first, I'm not going to accept it. I made it pretty funny, try to be, every attempt to be transparent with that. So I just don't want to like leave with the thought that I was downstairs like, hey guys, I was very open and very like transparent with the fact I will not accept this advice from the highest.
Right.
So
No, I heard that, and I'm just gonna be clear, like, if I was in your shoes, and no offense to anyone out here, if someone was acting lieutenant and I took the test and I scored number 1 and that person was number 2 or number 3, I understand the brotherhood portion of it, but also you have to look at your career choices and where am I gonna be at in 5 years to 10 years? Are they gonna be next to me? Are they gonna go to another department? Why would I pass up this opportunity? You know, me personally, if I scored number 1 on it, even though if I don't think I'm not ready, because you still have to have your time, right, on the truck and stuff, I would take it just because it's a career move. That's just me personally. I think when you deny a position because you don't think you're ready, sometimes you shoot yourself in the foot. You know, I like what you're doing, don't get me wrong, you know, I understand fully why you're backing it, you know what I mean, so I've been there before. Yep. Do we have any other public comments? Nope, all right. Meeting's adjourned, 6:56 PM.